alright. Don't know much about the things we need and things we do for love. Little I know. Little I know about day and night. Don't know much about the reason why we ask the stars above. Little I know. Little I know about rise and fall. Don't know much about decisions that we made or might regret. Little I know. Oh, I know that I belong here, though I don't know where I stand. I'm an alien. I don't know where I am yet. It feels so familiar. It feels so good to be home in a place I don't know. Little I know about rise and fall. Don't know much about decisions that we made or might regret. Little I know. Little I know about standing tall. Don't know much about the man I used to be before we met. Little I know. Oh, I know that I belong here, though I don't know where I stand. I'm an alien. I don't know where I am yet. It feels so familiar. It feels so good to be home in a place I don't know. I'm a stranger in paradise, so baby, come take my hand. I feel like a fish in the sea. Oh, I don't know where I stand. Here I am, come and show me, take my hand. Here I am, come and show me, take my hand.
Oh, I won't forget the day those phosphorescent waves washed my fears away. I see cities from afar with the moons and
inside for fear of what's coming. The sunny rays outside the warehouse slip away.
Whoopity doo!
Yeah, good morning, and that is Uncle Lou here. That's right, it's me, Uncle Lou. Live for you on YouTube today. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Team Asshole. You guys are the MVPs. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel over on the Patreon page. It means a lot to me. So those hats will be going out in the mail this week. So you can be expecting to get those soon. How's everybody doing tonight? College football up and running. Games last weekend. No Power 5 games, but we're going to fix that this week. Kicking off on Thursday with Miami hosting UAB. And then on Saturday, a whole slate of ACC versus ACC games and some Big 12 non-conference games. So we've got some Power 5 football coming up this weekend. So if you weren't able to get excited for Austin Peay a couple of weeks ago, if you weren't able to get excited this past weekend for Army, Memphis, SMU, Southern Miss, BYU, Navy, well, this weekend, you shouldn't have that problem. We have actual Power 5 football, still a couple of weeks away from the SEC joining in before we have full, or as close as we're getting this year to full Saturdays of college football. But we've got some legitimate games coming up this weekend, like I said, starting off Thursday night when Miami hosts UAB. UAB, of course, already 1-0 on the season, a game under their belt. Maybe that's an advantage for them heading into this game against Miami. We'll see. I think Miami is clearly a better team. I think De'Aaron King's set to have a monster year for Miami if he plays anything like what he played like at Houston. I know the competition may be slightly tougher in the ACC than what he saw before, but I think Miami could really have a good year. We'll get our first look at them. We'll get our first look at them on Thursday. I'm sure a lot of you will be watching that game. I know I will, without question. Shout out to everybody for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. Almost 100 people watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you're excited about the start of college football season and excited about Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show, YouTube's longest running college football call-in show also in too, which is good news. They said this show wouldn't last. They were wrong. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Melissa May, Jeff Webster, Clemson Carson, Will Thorogood, Savage Cabbage. Great name. Not sure if you're new or just created a new account, but that's a great name. Gage Windland, Glittergator, Fireball, Rackdog, RB Smata, Clemson Carson, Neo, Bartholomew Bob, The Barner, The Bet, Rattlehead. What's up, buddy? Mitch All Day. Trump's to pay on a windy day. What another great troll name. Wyatt Fielden, Clemson Carson, Will Thorogood, Savage Cabbage, JC, Mitch All Day, Fireball, Melissa May, Bears, Cubs, Canes, Glenn P, TR Sports, Gators owned. Gators owned. What were you asking me the other day? Weren't you asking me about something? Pretty sure that you were. We're going to get to the phone calls here in just a second. If you want to be on the show tonight, this is a call-in show after all. If you want to be on the call-in show, here you go. 706-786-4481. Phone lines are backed up right now, so we'll get to those here quickly. Quickly, too. But weren't you asking me something the other day, Gators owned? Pretty sure that you were. You didn't think those hats was all I had today, did you? Maybe you did. If you guys remember a few weeks ago before I moved out here to the new space, I said I was going to do something for 4 people, something honorary. Not something that cost a lot of money or whatever, and I did it the same way we do almost all the contests around here. We did a PayPal contest, highest PayPal donation for 4 night streams in a row. One, there was only a spot for 4 in my mind. Now I'm thinking maybe we could have done more, but so maybe we'll do this once a year. I don't know. None of that matters. Point is, there was 4 lucky winners. I don't think I ever said what it was other than, don't send me $1 million thinking you're going to win something extremely valuable. This was an honorary award. Anyway, I built a bar in here. It's hard to see when I'm live streaming, but it's back there. You see it? It's big. It's about 10 feet long. It's a nice bar, too. I did a good job on that bar. I'll take some video of it on the main channel or something once I finish a few other things up in here, and I'll do a tour, show you guys what I've done in here. But anyway, I built a bar back there. No, I don't drink. So for me, it's a coffee bar. I've got an espresso machine back there, and I've got a refrigerator slap full of water, Mountain Dew, Cheerwine, Dr. Pepper, root beer, Coke, whatever, you name it. It's in there. But anyway, that's besides the point. I have the nicest bar in town of anyone that doesn't drink alcohol. And now the four winners, I can guess where some of these people live, but it would just be a guess. It's not likely they'll ever make their way over here. However, if you ever do find yourself in the Augusta area, these four winners, you're more than welcome to come by the Uncle Lou studio. Maybe it'll be during the season, and you can hang out here with me all day and watch football on a Saturday. If you do, to the four winners, we'll start with you, Gators owned. You still in here, I hope. You were worried. Anyway, to the four winners, here you go. These four things will be permanently attached to the bar tomorrow. They just came in the mail today. These will be permanently attached to the bar tomorrow. Each of these four people will have an honorary seat at the LouTube Studios bar. Gators owned. Thank you for supporting the channel, sir. Yeah, you have an honorary permanent seat at Uncle Lou's bar. Gators owned, Florida fan. I don't know if this was a theme or what, but winner number 2 from a couple of weeks ago. Rattlehead, Florida fan. A permanent honorary seat at the LouTube Studios bar. Thank you for supporting the show. So 2 Florida fans. TK, thank you for supporting the show. I believe she was the 4th winner. TK, LSU fan, permanent honorary seat at the LouTube Studios bar. These will be attached permanently to the top of the bar tomorrow. Just came in the mail today. And J. Drizzle, LSU fan. So 2 Florida fans, 2 LSU fans. The 4 permanent honorary seats. You know what I didn't order? One of these that says Uncle Lou. I don't have a seat at my own damn bar. How's that possible? (706-786-4448). Yeah, there's plenty of. The bar is 10 feet long across the front, 4 feet long down the back side, down one of the sides. There's plenty of room. You can fit 7 or 8 people at that bar, no problem. No problem. How about some phone calls? 706-786-4481. Let me know what's on your guys' mind. What you think about the games this past weekend? Who you got in the games coming up this weekend? What about Miami and UAB? Let's see what you guys have to say today. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Yeah, good morning. It's Ballard. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It is a good morning, too.
Uh-huh. And also.
Yeah, I wasn't asking. Any particular reason you called in this evening?
Yeah, man.
Right,
hey, we got some college football.
Is that right?
We got some more coming up. Yeah.
You want to tell me about it?
Yeah, we got some. I'm trying to tell you about it, Luke.
Okay, good.
We got some ACC football. Of course, as we know, the always cupcake conference. But, hey, it's better than nothing. And I want to get your thoughts. Outside of Clemson, who do you think is under the ACC spotlight this year? You know, you thinking like North Carolina, a team to look out for, or maybe a team like Syracuse or whoever? Who you got?
What do you think? Who's going to be good in the ACC? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, outside of Clemson, because of course they'll be excellent.
I think North Carolina, Miami, maybe Syracuse, maybe Virginia Tech. I think Louisville will be better than some people think.
Yeah, I made a video a couple weeks ago talking about the ACC and how, like, I know that, we all like to dog on the ACC and how it's a cupcake conference, which, let's be honest, call it what it is. We don't hate the ACC, honestly, I would like to see more teams beat Clemson. I would like to see it be more competitive, and I would like to see more teams such as North Carolina maybe make the playoffs at some point. Let it be more competitive. And there's
If you're
so
looking for
many,
the
like
ACC to be more competitive and you're looking for additional playoff teams out of the ACC, I'm having a hard time understanding why you would go from Clemson to North Carolina and skip over the two obvious teams in the ACC that are best well positioned to eventually pass Clemson and or make a college football playoff.
I was just giving examples of some teams. That's all I was doing.
Right.
But I want to see it be more competitive, such as a conference like the Big Ten or the SEC, because let's be honest. I mean, if you turn on a game, such as the first game, like what's your take a guess on a score for Clemson Wake Forest? I'll give you one, 60-0, probably. It's just to see a team like Clemson just blow every ACC team out of the water. And it just like at some point, man, when does Clemson start, having a hard time in the ACC? I get that they struggled on the road against North Carolina last year, but outside of that, like it's like that's just one game. You know what I mean? Like the SEC, take the SEC, Georgia, Florida, Bama, LSU. I'm naming probably half the teams right there. The Big Ten, I know they opted out, but they got teams like Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan. Minnesota was pretty good last year. The ACC is just Clemson and everybody else. When does it get better? When can we see more teams be competitive and try to beat the big boy like Clemson? And I just wanted to call in and get your thoughts on all that. Lou, are you still there? Just go ahead and answer me, Lou. Come on. I didn't say anything stupid. I was trying to make a point about the ACC being a cupcake conference and how I want to see them get better and beat up on a team like Clemson. I'm not saying I want Clemson to lose. I'm just saying I wish it was more competitive football in that league. You stop falling asleep and drooling in the chair, Lou. Come on.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. This is like this would be like me calling into the weather station and asking them their thoughts on the sky being blue. I mean, I guess the 5 people that just woke up from a 4-year nap appreciate you calling in and explaining to everyone that Clemson is the cream of the crop in the ACC and that it's not a competitive league.
I wasn't trying to explain. I wasn't trying to explain that. I was trying to make a point that I want to see it get better. And I just wanted to ask you, do you feel the same way about the ACC? Do you wish it was more competitive?
I don't.
Or are you just...
Oh, Ballard. Ballard, nobody cares what I think. It only matters what you think.
You're probably right. I'm just going to hang up now, Lou. I appreciate you calling in, or let me call in. Have a good one.
Thanks for letting me call in, Ballard. Oh, Ballard. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Luke.
Uncle Lou, thank you for calling Ballard there. That was awful nice of you.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I was glad he answered.
Hey, exactly. First time caller here from Mount Pleasant, Alabama, Tom Bailey.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. I had a couple of buddies turn me on to you, and I've watched quite a few videos. One of them is Timmy Ellickson. I don't know if you caught that name before. He's
Sounds
from
like
Florida, big time.
Sounds like you run with a pretty smart crowd.
Yeah. Timmy Ellickson's a big time Florida fan down there in Stark, Florida, just outside of Gaines.
Well, I didn't say they were geniuses.
No, exactly. But hey, way to back out of that, by the way.
Yeah.
nice move.
Nice save.
Hey, yeah. You don't have your name on your own bar. I got to tell you something, brother. That is country gold right there. add a few more lyrics, and you're in like twins.
I had such a hard time finding a place online that I thought I could trust to make these things sight unseen, and it took me so long, and I finally found a place that would send me a proof and all that, so I could see it first, and yada yada yada. And I got so wrapped up in that. I didn't order myself one, so I'll have to either stand up or sit on the floor, I guess.
Yeah. I say ride with it. Make a song, man.
Yeah.
Get you $1 billion there.
There you go.
So I caught a few of your videos. I'm fairly new to the channel here. But I caught the video about I guess it was the halftime BYU versus Navy channel or Navy video you did there.
Oh yeah, my halftime report. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I saw some serious animosity towards BYU.
Yes.
And the irony there, you had talked about being anti-Navy was anti-American, or I think you even said anti or unnatural.
A crime against humanity.
Yes. Yeah, yes. I think you went against. You said something about against nature.
It is against nature.
And the irony there, of course. Yeah, it sounds like you're putting your foot down against BYU because they are against those who are against nature. So I just want to get some clarity on that.
Oh, BYU is against those who are against nature.
Yeah, they're anti-sodomy and sexual perverts. So I heard you talking about things, and I was like, man, look, one of these programs is basically adopted the
they're
don't ask, don't tell,
isn't it?
And one of these programs,
I think it's pretty perverted.
Is anti-sodomy.
Isn't it perverted to have multiple wives? Like, how many women do you have to sleep with at one time before it's considered perverted?
Right, and men desiring other men's anuses is not. Is that where you're going with this?
I don't care what a grown person sticks where with another grown person.
Obviously you do, or you wouldn't hate BYU that bad, because that's the basis of your hatred towards them.
Polygamy is the basis of my hatred towards
polygamy,
BYU.
Sir. Do we need to go to a dictionary here? That's not polygamy.
We can, or we can keep pretending that this is the first time you've called in. But it's not.
We're smart now.
You've called in a bunch of times, and every single time you call in, you say, "This is the last time I'm calling in." And then you keep calling in with a different fake name.
Sir, that's never happened one time.
Keep up the good work, man.
Not one time.
Yeah.
Not one time.
Oh. Did you have someone touched you when you were a kid, or what? I mean, what's your issue with what's your issue with
name calling right now? Yeah, now you're name calling. You don't have the mental.
What name did I call you?
That's what the issue is.
I bet you don't have the mental ability to tell me what name I called you. You just said I'm starting with the name calling. What name did I call you?
If we went back,
what name did I call you?
You called me about 1 billion.
The comments?
Ignorant redneck.
No, you said just now you're starting with the name calling. I want to know when I started with the name calling.
You just said that polygamy was the whole issue when I never brought that up once.
I never said polygamy was my issue with
once.
BYU.
Why?
I asked you how many women you have to sleep with before it's considered perverted. That's all.
Why are you anti-BYU? Is that really why?
Because of polygamy?
Really why?
No, it has nothing to do with polygamy. It has nothing to do with polygamy.
Then why is it? Because you have a relative who's a cocksucker? Is that why?
I had an uncle that was gay. Is that what you're asking?
Yes,
I had an
gay.
uncle that was gay.
So
yeah.
that's why you're anti BYU.
No.
And then you pressure BVD into taking your side when obviously he really doesn't want to get into the whole thing.
I pressure BVD. Do I bully him?
You're part of this whole crowd that wants America to think just like you think. And guess what? It is a vast minority who really thinks like you think. That is exactly the case.
Right.
You pretend to be a football channel, but all that is an avenue for you to get your anti-Christian
You figured it out.
ideology out there.
You figured it out.
That's all that is.
You're a Christian?
Yeah, I did. And guess what?
You're a Christian?
Sir.
I'm asking.
Are you gonna target me just like BLM does now?
Is asking you a question is targeting you?
Hey,
are you ashamed of your Christianity or something? I don't understand. Are you ashamed of your Christianity? Why not just answer the question?
Are you going to send goons to my house, sir? Just like BLM does now? If you admit you're a Christian?
Well, you're all over the place. BLM, Mormons, polygamy, sodomy.
No, I'm all over the place.
Gays.
I'm following your lead, sir. I'm following your lead,
sir. Sir, this show was 100% football up until the minute you called in.
No, it wasn't. No, it's never been all about football. It's all about you spreading this BS.
Your feelings matter.
You're trapped in the South.
Your feelings matter.
You're trapped in the South.
Your feelings matter.
My feelings.
Yeah,
they
your
do.
Well,
matter. Thank you. I feel better now.
Yeah, your feelings matter.
Hey,
man.
let's have a sarcasm contest. Let's have a sarcasm contest.
Sir,
huh?
that you would be about like a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
Why are you so anti-BYU?
We could have a battle. We could have a battle of wits. We could have a battle of wits, but you're woefully unarmed in that department.
Right, but this is your channel, so you're going to edit things like you want it to. Otherwise, the battle of wits would go heavily in my favor, sir.
This is a live show, dumbass. It can't be edited. This is being broadcast live.
It can't be edited, but about half the things I've said are somehow gone from your live show. How is that?
Explain
that's
not true. It's just not true.
How about you, Big Brain? Go ahead, Big Brain.
You're literally making that up.
Check out the Big Brain on Uncle Lou.
You're literally making it up.
You're anti-BYU because they are pro-nature. They are pro-laws of nature. They are anti-man sticking his penis into another man's anus, and you're mad at that.
No.
And the irony there is
you've assumed that
you were against. I've assumed that.
Yeah. I've said I have listed my problems with BYU. You study me like it's your job.
Yeah,
you should know.
You said it's discrimination.
Yeah, they discriminate.
Guess what else has discrimination? HIV.
Who does it discriminate against?
Straight people.
It doesn't affect. Oh my God, sir.
What do you think? What do you think, big boy? Hey, what do you think, Mister intellectual superiority over there in Augusta? No, actually, it is the most discriminating disease that's out there, and that's fact. You know why? Hey, you know why you're laughing? Because you have nothing else to say. That's exactly why you're laughing, because you have no facts to back up your side. I hope BYU kicks everyone else's ass on their schedule just to piss you off. Adios, bitch.
HIV doesn't affect straight people. Man, somebody better let straight people know. Somebody better let straight people know. Man, we owe that guy a big thank you for that education. The damn genius there called in. Guy was big mad. I hope tomorrow after you knock on about 3 or 4 doors, the tires go flat on your bicycle, buddy. That's what I hope. Oh, my God. This is my first time calling in. I knew right away. That guy calls in. That guy's done called in about 5 or 6 times, and every single time he calls in, this is the last time I'm calling in. Then a month later, he gets mad and calls in again. I don't know. Why do you keep watching? Why do you keep watching? Some friends of mine turned me on to your channel. I saw BYU Navy halftime video. Oh, Mr. Potato Head call. Thank you for the call, Mr. Potato Head. You're good people. I mean that. Sorta. Oh, yeah, good morning, but you're on with Uncle Ludo.
Hey, good morning, Uncle Lou.
Yeah, good morning.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I thought that was so hilarious.
That guy's mad,
That's
man.
why
He's mad as hell, and he's not going to take it anymore.
I love that first call. Yeah, he silenced it. I was just going, oh, I'm going to silence it. Yeah. I loved it. I just
finally
thought that was
figured it
hilarious.
out. Well, he's not the first one to figure it out, but of course, I've never even seen a football game.
Yeah. Oh,
This is
yeah.
just a pretend channel.
I just love how you mimic things. Like, I thought that's funny.
I spent 5 years turning this fake football channel into a career just so I could clown the Mormon religion. This guy figured everything out.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This guy had to. I don't know if it was a preacher or a neighbor or a teacher. Somebody did something to that guy at a young age, and it's just totally ruined his mind towards homosexuals. He's scared to death of them now.
Yeah. Well, I'll just let you. I'm not like that, so you don't have to worry about that with me. So.
Well, okay.
But anyway, I do want to say I do have 2 questions I'd like to ask, and I think Miami is going to crush. Who they play? UAB. I think Miami's going to crush UAB, no doubt.
I think I tend to agree with that assessment.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, well, the first question is how many games Florida State do you think Florida State will win this year, and will South Carolina fire Will Muskamp if they are 5-5 or worse?
5-5. I say he keeps his job. Worse than that,
okay.
It's 50-50. Now, I didn't think anybody was going to get fired this year on account of the coronavirus. There's just a lot of built-in excuses around that, and so I thought maybe no one would get fired. But someone's already got fired. The Southern Miss coach got fired after the first game. So, and there's some off-the-field issues brewing at South Carolina too, involving 13 players and an attack that may or may not have occurred. And so if Will Muschamp wins 2, 3, 4 games, something like that, and this ends up being as big of a deal as it looks like it might with this attack that happened or didn't happen or whatever, I could see South Carolina potentially maybe making a move.
Right. Okay.
As far as Florida State goes, I like Florida State's hire. I think I think it's a step in the right direction. Unfortunately, they took a lot of steps backwards. Now, Miami has been sort of treading water. Miami, I think, is closer to maybe winning 8 games this year with this 10-11 game schedule than Florida State is. I think Miami is a better team this year than Florida State. Florida State needs a couple of recruiting classes, which I don't think will be too difficult to accomplish. They're in the state of Florida. I like their head coach, Mike Norvell. I think he can get them turned around, but I think Miami is closer to that point right now, especially at the quarterback position.
All right,
for this year.
Well, thank you, Uncle Lou, for having me on, and have a great morning, good evening, and you answered my questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. Thanks for calling in. Happy start of the football season to you, sir. Moving right along at a snail's pace. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Okay, do you please? I'm trying to talk here. I want to talk about the last caller.
Oh God.
Do you hate Christians because your uncle's gay and Christianity is against gay. Why are you so against Christians? Like, why won't you go against the Jewish religion or the Muslim religion?
What have I
go,
said that makes you think I hate Christians?
Talking about yesterday, you've mocked Jake Fromm on his religion and what he does. Like what
I mock
is that
people
shit,
who
man?
I mock people who dangle their religion
get
out in
pissed
front of
off,
them and
and I
then make a fool of themselves about it, like Jake Fromm.
I know why you do it. You hate Christians so much. I fucking know this is true. You know a majority of these people support the president, and you fucking hate the president. We all know. You're going to go vote for Joe Biden.
Are you a Christian?
Unbelievable. Hell yeah, I'm a Christian.
And you're calling a
got
football YouTube channel and dropping F-bombs and all that kind of stuff. Now, what would Jesus do, sir?
If you're saying the shit you do, I can say whatever I want because
You can say whatever you want no matter what. I don't really care. But this is my point. People who call up defending Christianity and then want to cuss me out and say the F-bomb, and I mean, you're not a very good example of what the Christian religion should be, honestly.
You are affected by BYU because they don't like faggots.
BYU is not even Christian. They're Mormon. I don't understand the connection you're trying to make. I have a problem with all of organized religion, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to know.
You hate Christians because they love the president, and you cannot stand the fact of that. We know what this is, Lou. You're not fooling anybody.
I hate Christians because they love the president?
Yes.
So,
we know what this is.
I didn't have a problem with religion in 2015 before Trump was president. My sudden Sir, you're more confused you are more confused than a 2-year-old in a titty bar. You remind me of a retard in a circular room trying to find a corner to piss in. You have no clue what you're talking about. None. Zero.
I know what I'm talking about. I do.
I have a problem with hypocrisy, sir. I have a problem with hypocrisy. Like someone calling me up, thumping their Bible while using every cuss word in the book, sir. I mean, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem.
Why? And you won't mock Jewish people, huh?
I don't mock Jewish people. Ask Celine Driver. He's Jewish.
And then you're sitting there trying to make BVD be all.
There's no group of people that's off limits to Uncle Lou jokes, sir. The fact that it hurts your feeling doesn't concern me in the least.
You're not a Christian. You're damn well not a Christian. You defend
faggots. Sir, I'm not on a YouTube show calling homosexuals a slur and cussing and pretending to be a Christian. That's you. You don't have to tell me I'm not a Christian. I'm not out here thumping my Bible pretending to be Captain Jesus. That's you.
You're going to hell, Lou.
So are you. I'll see you there.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No.
Do you cut your hair? Do you cut your hair? Do you eat fish? Do you eat pork? Are you divorced, sir? Are you divorced? Are you divorced?
I'm 67 years old.
So you're probably divorced a couple of times. You're going to hell, sir. If I'm going to hell, you're going to hell. I'll see you there. Hey, you're 67. You're 67. You're going to get there. You're halfway there, buddy. You'll be there long before I get there. So save me a spot, okay?
Hey,
will you save me a spot though? Save me a spot, sir. Save me a spot, sir. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, what's up, Lou?
Mike Vick, what's up, buddy?
Hey. So I want to give a shout out to my boy Hot Rod for becoming the Colts kicker.
Yeah, that's right. Indianapolis announced Hot Rod starting kicker. Also, Solomon Kinley, Andrew Thomas, and Isaiah Wilson all projected to start for their respective teams. So a lot of first-year starters coming out of UGA in the NFL this year.
Right, but I heard that Isaiah Wilson got COVID.
I did not hear that.
Oh, you hadn't heard that?
No.
Okay, yeah. They said that he was on the COVID-19 reserve list. I
Oh,
don't know.
well, that's
I
not
don't know
good.
what that means.
Hopefully
Yeah, I
he
don't
gets
know what
over
that
it pretty
means.
soon, pretty quick, without any issues.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you. Yeah, if you knew that. My mom, Vic Beasley, is not with the Falcons anymore.
Yeah, I was aware. I think he's with Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
moved to the
Yeah,
the
another
Titans.
wasted
Yeah,
draft
I
pick for the
remember.
Falcons. What a surprise.
Yeah, I know.
They drafted
Yeah,
Vic Beasley.
I know.
They drafted Vic Beasley instead of drafting Todd Gurley. Same draft those two came out. Falcons passed on Gurley at 8. Rams got Gurley at 10. Gurley basically led the NFL in all-purpose yards combined over his first 3 years in the NFL, while Vic Beasley did absolutely nothing. Now, Gurley, unfortunately, running back's shelf life 5-6 years at the most. He's on the downside of his career. The Falcons get rid of Beasley, who they never should have got. They bring in, I hate to say it, but a Gurley that's not really in his prime anymore, in my opinion. When they could have had Gurley 5 years ago, but hey, that's why they're the Falcons.
Right. Yeah. So you're saying that Gurley is not as girly as he used to be.
I hope I'm wrong, but he hasn't looked the same the last 2 years as he did his first 2 or 3 years in the league. And he, unfortunately, that just happens to a lot of running backs. I mean, the Adrian Petersons are very rare these days. Average lifespan of an NFL running back is 4 or 5 years. I mean, if you just look at the numbers, the turnover at the running back position is about 4.5 years, and Todd Gurley's already passed that. So I'm not saying his NFL career is over. And sometimes a change of scenery does some people good, So maybe this will kind of rejuvenate him. We'll see. But it doesn't excuse the Falcons for the piss-poor decision they made back in 2016 draft, whatever it was, taking Vic Beasley. I mean, the guy was just an absolute joke.
Yeah. I've heard that the Falcons have been saying, that they think he's back to 100%. Yeah, have you heard that?
I mean, I hope so. But I'm going to have to see it. Mike Vick, thank you for the call, sir. It was good to hear from you. Enjoy your football this week. Finally got some games worth watching. Had some teams worth watching last week. Not really any games. We have some games worth watching this week. To the cult members who are still listening, they are. When the most exciting game of the week features BYU, you're being served a shit sandwich in terms of your available options. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hello, it's Nate the Great, done with late, a.k.a. Nate Kingston.
Hey, Nate. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Man, doesn't it seem like I'm doing good? I'm just making friends.
No,
I'm just making friends, Nate. That's all.
Hey, I believe you're going to heaven, in my opinion.
You believe I'm going to hell? You believe I'm going to hell, you said?
No, heaven.
Oh. Thank you, Nate.
Sorry.
Thank you. Well, I know for a fact you're going to heaven, Nate. So I tell you what, whichever one of us gets there, if I get there before you, which I probably will, I'll save you a spot in heaven. How about that?
Okay.
All right, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping I go to heaven, and I mean, all of us will hope to go to heaven. But but anyway, what I was trying to talk about is that I'm really excited for the UAB and Miami game this Thursday.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I don't think it's going to be a close game. I think Miami will win easily, but I want to see how Miami looks with De'Aaron King at quarterback. I think he's going to have a really good year.
Yeah, same. but I just want to see I want UAB just give maybe 2 touchdowns and maybe Miami just blow them out and then. But I mean, maybe UAB can get a couple touchdowns, but then Miami strikes back and wins the game. Wins the first game since I don't know. But have you thought about I've been really thought about if Scott Frost could renew the rivalry with Miami, with Nebraska and stuff, because I think that's a good rivalry.
Miami versus Nebraska? Yeah, I would like to see that.
Yeah, I think they last played in 2015. If that's right.
I don't remember the last time they played, but I wouldn't mind seeing them schedule like a home and home or something during the season. That would be an interesting regular season game.
Mhm. Yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, as a Nebraska and Michigan fan, I think one of the I was gonna say it's been tough, but one more comment or question, I can go. Okay. So I think the Big Ten's gonna be announcing again, whoever it is this week, if they're not playing or not, or if they're playing or not. I don't know what day, but I just saw it from 24/7 stream, but I hope they say yes. But
yeah, they're
if
supposed
they say
to.
yes,
They're supposed to have some kind of a revote, I think, this week.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
If they vote to play in the spring or not, they're too late. So, yep.
Yeah, well, maybe they're thinking about maybe starting in October. So that would be the best case scenario, I think.
Thanks, Lou.
All right, Nate. Good to hear from you, buddy.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Thank you for calling in. Type. Let's see what these super chats have to say. Celine Driver, thank you for hitting that super chat, sir. He says, thank you for the hat. Can't wait to live stream with it on. I hope you're working on the shirts too. No rush, of course. Love the hat. Have a good morning and two. Definition 409, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, can Pigskin Pete call? He needs more viewers. Leave Pigskin Pete alone. I don't know what. Man, this Definition 409, I'm telling you. He has no love for Pigskin Pete. Now, I do, that does, I feel bad when people say that about Pete, but I go over to Pete's channel, and when he's live streaming and I look in the comments, and there ain't no love for Uncle Lou in there, so I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of people on Pete's channel that don't like Uncle Lou, and it seems to be at least one person over here that don't like Pigskin Pete, but it's kind of funny to me, but I don't know. Rattlehead, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, do the potato song. Potato. I tried to find that song real quick there at the end, but Mr. Potato Head is what came up instead. So, Brian Biak, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, you certainly can't make this stuff up. You sure can't. You sure can't. These people watch Uncle Lou like it's their job for 8 months during the off season, and as soon as the football season starts, they call up and cuss me out about how big of a Christian they are. Thank you, sir. Definition 409 says, see what happens when BYU wins one game. Yeah, they're big for their britches now. Wait till they're 10-0, because I don't think BYU will lose this year. Look at their schedule. It's a joke. It's not BYU's fault. 10 of their opponents canceled on them, so they had to cobble together whatever little schedule they could, but doesn't look to me like BYU is going to lose a game. They're still not making the playoffs, though. Let's not get it twisted. They're not getting anywhere near the playoffs. For the same reason they're not in the Big 12. Hey, I wonder if those two nitwits that called in here crying about Uncle Lou's religious beliefs. I wonder if those two nitwits spend all day. They spend all night calling me. I wonder if they spend all day calling all the presidents of the Big 12 who unanimously voted no on allowing BYU into the Big 12 and specifically cited their backwards ass hypocrisy and policies. So I don't know. I guess you can Google like Texas's phone number or Oklahoma's phone number. I don't know if these people I guess they know how to Google. I don't know. I would love to hear the conversations they have, these idiots that call in here. I would love to hear the conversations they have with the presidents of the Big 12 who told BYU to kick rocks because they're backwoods and stuck in the Stone Ages. I would love to know. Is this not heaven? Ups, downs, memories, friends. This might be the closest to heaven I ever get. Is this new building I have right here? Thank you for the super chat, sir. Little Leg Lou, good to see you back in here. What do you get when you spin your dog around and around? A UGA fan. Little Leg Lou. You were up here with that troll account name. Then you told that joke down here. Maybe Mike Reiser can help you. He's the official joke teller of the Uncle Lou channel. The Weatherman, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, Lou, if you ever made a new super fan, which team would it be? Have a good morning in that. Maybe I'll make a super fan for the religious fanatics that call in. You know? Maybe I'll do that. Gator Zone, thank you, sir. He says Western Kentucky is beating BYU. Could happen. Could happen. They play, I think Western Kentucky plays Louisville this week. Do they not, Gator Zone? That could be a good game. I think Louisville is better than people think. Mountaineer Mike. Passion of the Lou. He said, Mountaineer Mike says, Passion of the Lou.
Georgia's 186 hospitals serve 10.6 million Georgians and support over half of
I mean, you would have thought that's what they would have been mad at. Not me clowning BYU. Uncle Lou just hates Catholics. He hates them. Uncle Lou can't stand Catholics. I'm married to a Catholic. I got married in a Catholic church. Does that make y'all mad? How mad does that make you, callers? Those two callers. How mad does that make you? I did pre-Cana classes. Does that make you mad? My wedding was blessed by the Catholic Church. Does that irritate you? How mad does that make you? My kids are Catholic. That pisses you off, doesn't it? 0% chance they're ever going to be alone with anyone at the Catholic Church, though. I'm tolerant. I'm not ignorant. Just because some neighbor, when those two callers were little kids, some neighbor stuck a fistful of marbles in their asshole. Now these people have to spend the rest of their lives hating gay people for no reason, which I don't care if they do hate gay people. I don't care about an individual's beliefs. I care about their actions or an institution's actions. You can believe whatever you want religiously for yourself. You can't force that on other people. That's my problem with BYU. And that's college football's problem with BYU, which is why they're not in a Power 5 conference. So again, call the presidents of the Big 12 and tell them the story about how you were touched when you were little, because I honestly don't give a fuck. Just being real. I do appreciate y'all watching, though. Good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lou, though.
Hey, Uncle Lou, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Last time I called, we were talking about our quarterback situation, and we pretty much came to the conclusion, or at least I did, that we knew Newman was going to be the starter. Now, since that's not going to happen,
Yeah.
I'm close to pushing the panic button on our quarterback situation. I'm afraid that we don't have 3 weeks is not enough time for us to make a good, solid decision on who our quarterback should be, and for that quarterback to upgrade our offense significantly this year. And now I'm just worried that we're going to take a huge step back like last year, if not worse. And I'll hang up and let you take another caller and listen to your comments. I appreciate your time tonight, buddy.
Okay, yeah, thanks for the call. I stay worried about the UGA quarterback situation because of past performance. And when we brought JT Daniels in, my initial thought about JT Daniels was, this looks like a guy, to me, that Kirby is bringing in that can step into Jack Fromm's shoes. That's what it looked like. Now, it looked like that wasn't going to happen because of Jamie Newman. Now, I also said when we brought JT Daniels in that whoever the starter ends up being, whether it could be JT Daniels, whoever it is, anybody that starts their first game for Georgia, I can have my opinions on them heading into the season, as anyone can. Whoever is named the starter, or maybe a starter's not named, whoever they trot out on that field week 1 at Arkansas, is going to have 100% of my support. I'm not going to bash Georgia's quarterback heading into week 1. I have no reason to. I'm not impressed with what he did at Southern Cal. I heard for 6 months from people who hate Jamie Newman that look at his numbers, but it was against the ACC, though. Well, look at JT Daniels' numbers against the Pac-12. He played 1 season. 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, completed 60% of his passes. 60% is not what it used to be. 60% used to be pretty good. You know, look around now. You got people completing high 60s and 70s, a lot of them. 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions in the Pac-12. And remember, this was at Southern Cal, a team, say what you want about Southern Cal. They constantly have a roster full of NFL wide receivers. Southern Cal's wide receiver situation, much better than Georgia's, especially 2 years ago. Georgia's situation has improved some now with George Pickens, a couple other younger guys with some potential. But you go back 2 years ago, the best we had to offer was Terry Godwin. Nothing against Terry Godwin. But look around the country in 2017 at any team with a legitimate passing game. What team was Terry Godwin starting on as wide receiver 1? None. And he was our best guy. So 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 60% completion percentage, negative 140 yards rushing. And they clowned me. Oh, yeah, well, that's because of the sacks. Their line was terrible. Well, even more of a reason to be mobile. How's Houston's offensive line? Because De'Aaron King ran around like a chicken with his head cut off for how many yards? So what I've seen from JT Daniels was not impressive. And there's no one that can tell me it is. Now, if you want to do one of these film studies where you dissect 3 passes that he threw in 2018 that were amazing, great. Great. Look at the body of work. It was not impressive. He appears to be not mobile at all. Appears. All I can go off of is what I've seen in the year that he played. If he's the guy, I'm all in. If we go on the road to Arkansas week 1 and win 27-3 like we did against Vanderbilt last year and only score 3 points in the second half, and he can't run, he can't move, he's not mobile in the pocket, he doesn't have a live arm, guess what I'm going to come on here and say the next day? That. If he comes out against Arkansas and runs for a couple of first downs on third down, if he scrambles in the pocket a time or two, extends a play while keeping his eyes downfield and hits a receiver for a first down, I'm going to be ecstatic. I would like to see Dwan Mathis get the start. He's been there. It would be a good story. The whole brain cyst thing and the surgery and having to sit out a year, and then they bring Newman in, so it looks like he's not going to start this year, and then you got Vandergrift coming in next year, plus we signed Carson Beck, and you're thinking Dwan Mathis may never take a snap at UGA. Now, Newman leaves. So I don't know, but whoever it is, well, I'm behind them 100% until there's a reason not to be. And that's the same for every player. I didn't hate Matt Landers the minute he showed up at UGA. I was excited. Big, tall guy, can run and jump. So, yes, sign me up. 3 years later, the guy has no hands. The guy can't catch. I'm sorry, he's terrible. He's Jason Stanley, but taller. I mean, am I not supposed to say that? He's awful, Matt Landers. whatever quarterback we tried out there, if they're not any good, in my opinion, I'm going to say it. Now, someone can disagree with me, and they can, just like the Fromm thing. I wasn't high on Fromm. There's some people that think he's, the greatest thing they've ever seen. That's fine. It doesn't change my mind. I'm not out to change anyone else's mind. I'm just giving my opinion. So we'll see. But I'm disappointed in the Jamie Newman thing because I had gone all in on him. Not immediately. Not when, it's not like he announced he was transferring to Georgia, and the next day I said, that's it, Georgia national title, Jamie Newman, 5,000 yards, Heisman Trophy, 15-0. No, it took me a while. I was hesitant. But I bought in over time to the idea of Jamie Newman. And now that's ripped away 3 weeks before the season starts. It is concerning. I don't care who your quarterback is. You lose your starting quarterback 3 weeks before the season starts, that's a problem. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Lou.
Yeah, good morning.
Sweet driver.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Oh, it's your favorite Jew.
Yeah, that's right. This morning I called you Hasidic. I'm sorry. Are you calling to cuss me out?
No,
okay.
No, I'm not Hasidic.
Yeah, I know.
That's a whole nother 3 levels beyond what I am.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I even said that this morning. I said, no, he's not Hasidic. I'm just making a joke. These people don't understand.
No,
These people don't get it.
No, I understand.
These are the type of people that sit around all day looking for something to be offended about. That's all.
It's funny. I tune in for a football show, and a holy war broke out.
Yeah, unbelievable. We finally start football season, and now these people want to call up and thump their Bibles. It's the weirdest thing.
Well, only you could do that, Lou. But that's why we love you.
I guess.
And I promise you, I promise you, Lou, I'm going to get to heaven before you, and probably before BVD. I'll put in a good word for you.
I appreciate that because I'm gonna need all the help I can get in.
Yeah, you're all right. You're married to a nice Catholic girl. That's got to count for something.
Who's the guy at the gate? St. Peter?
I don't know. Jews don't do saints, so I think it's St. Peter. But
you think if I send him a team, you think if I send St. Peter a team asshole hat, he'll let me in?
He might.
It won't hurt. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Anyway, what's on your mind? What's on your mind this evening, sir?
I don't know. I was, I've been exchanging back and forth with sad FSU fan. I think he finally gave up when he realized I wasn't going to stop calling Florida State free shoes. So, that's wasted effort. I noticed that somebody claiming to be Lance and Jasper is in the comment section, so
I see him now. Yeah, he is in there. That's not the real him, but that's fine.
Well, I don't care. Lance and Jasper, I tried listening to him for 5 minutes once.
Yeah.
My mind started to leak out of my ears.
Yeah, he was entertaining to me in the beginning, but not for long.
Even by residents of Tennessee standard, the man is worthless. But I don't know. I just I thought I'd call in and prove to you that not everyone who believes in God is a lunatic.
Oh, I know that,
I do believe
sir.
in God. I don't think I'm a lunatic.
No.
I also wanted to mention for the record that I've talked to you many times, both on the phone, emails, chats, in person. You're not an anti-Semite, so I know that when you make a joke, I'm not going to immediately call the JDL and put a hit out on you. By the way, the kiss of death in Judaism includes dinner and dancing.
Ooh.
And the death is usually by gefilte fish, which is truly a miserable death. But I just want to call in and set the record straight on that. Thanks for the hat. I appreciate it.
Yeah, those will be going out. Those will be going out probably tomorrow. I don't have any live shows tomorrow, so Wednesday is usually the day I do all my running around or whatever. So I'll get those in the mail tomorrow.
Looking forward to the shirts too. They'll be nice additions. Some new to wear. And that's it. Just have a good morning, and that, sir. I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, Celine. Good to hear from you, buddy. Thank you for calling in, and happy start of football season Happy. What did I do? The wrong damn button. Happy start of football season to you, sir. Okay, now this thing is going nuts here. I don't know. Richard Smith, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, BYU, blasphemous young urchins. And 2 in that. Again, that was Richard Smith, not Uncle Lou. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Definition 409 says, does Lou make his coffee with holy water? I usually make it with tap water. But out here, there is no tap. So I've been buying gallons of spring water and making my coffee with spring water out here. That's what I've been doing. But, you know, any water I touch, holy water. That was a joke. I'm going to have to start. I guess I'm going to have to start putting a disclaimer on the screen like, this is just trash talk, or this is just a joke, or this really does piss me off. See? It's hypocrisy that pisses me off. Where it comes from is not the issue. I don't have an issue with Christians, Jews, Mormons, Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, witches, whatever. I don't have a problem with any of them. People are free to worship or whatever they want. I don't have a problem with that at all. I have a problem with hypocrisy, whether it's tied to religion or not. Boy, some of these people wouldn't last 5 minutes on my Facebook page if they're mad at YouTube. I'll tell you that right now. Rattlehead, thank you for hitting the PayPal link, which I believe I forgot to mention at the start of the show. There you go. There's the PayPal for anybody that wants it. I don't think I mentioned it at the top, but thank you for hitting the PayPal link, Rattlehead. He says a little something for one of my favorite YouTubers. Thank you, Rattlehead. Thank you. And I can't wait to have a coffee with you at the LouTube Studio Bar the next time you find yourself in the Augusta, Georgia area. Your seat will be waiting on you, sir. Where is it? Here it is. Your seat will be waiting on you. Rattlehead, Florida. Yeah. Seen Jay Rizzle in the comment section, too. Jay Rizzle, I'm not sure if you were here in the beginning, but here you go. These will be screwed to the bar tomorrow. To the bar top tomorrow. They came in today. Honorary seats at the LouTube Studio Bar. Gators owned. Florida fan. TK. Trying to get it where the light doesn't reflect on it. TK. Corn dogger. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Thank you for the PayPal, Rattlehead. I think there was one more on here, too. A bunch, several more. BCC, Bears, Cubs, Canes. Thank you for the PayPal, sir. He says, Lou, what's good, buddy? Digging you playing some Dave. Here's a few bucks for your hard work. Take care and keep plugging away. That's the plan. It's busy time now. 80 hours a week minimum now through the end of January. As long as football keeps going, which fingers crossed it will. But I allow myself to slack off a little bit from January to July or whatever, but the last 4 or 5 months of the year, it's nonstop here. But I'm not complaining. You have to do it that way when you're doing college football. You have to put most of your time, effort, and energy into when there's actually college football being played. So that's just how it goes. But so I do appreciate the support, though, sir. Hope you're doing well. I'm sure you are. Everybody should be doing well. It's football season. But nope, you got some people that are inventing reasons to be mad. So, but that's, some people wake up in the morning and that's literally the first. They wipe their eyes and then they look for something to be mad about. What's the average Pitt fan get on their SAT? Drool. Mike Reiser, resident LouTube joke teller. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you hitting the PayPal link this evening. One of these days, I'm not gonna say what it is, but I do notice that you send the exact same amount every single time, and one of these days, you're gonna tell me if there's something behind that. If it means, if that's just the amount every time, or if there's some sort of story there that I don't know about. But thank you for that, sir. Let's see who's up next on the PayPal here. We're gonna get back to the phones too. We got one person on hold, so. If you want to call in, 706-786-4481 is the number. There's a couple of open phone lines right now. If you want to get on hold, now would be a good time to do it. To the one person that's on hold, just hang tight, my brother. I'll be with you in just a second. Let's see who this is now. Glad you made a place our Florida friends can drink away their cocktail party misery. Thank you, Timothy C. Thank you for the PayPal, sir. Yeah, Florida fans, man, they've been awfully depressed after that Georgia-Florida game the last few years, hadn't they? Yeah. Hopefully, they'll be depressed again this year, and not me, but we'll see. It could go either way. It's going to be a good game. We'll see. Need to see what Georgia's quarterback situation looks like. RB Smata, thank you for hitting the PayPal, sir. See what you have to say this evening. He says, does your bar have Perrier? Mrs. Lou loves Perrier. So we do have some a lot of the times in the house. I haven't brought any out here. I don't drink Perrier, but we do have, not all the time, but we do. That is something we buy at the store. So we do have it from time to time. So, is that a request, Smarter? Let me know. If you're coming over, let me know, and I will make sure I have you a bottle of Perrier, sir. I can handle that. Don't worry. You just let Uncle Lou know what you need. I got you. I got you, fam. Lou, just admit you made this channel 6 years ago so you could push your anti-Christian rhetoric. I sense your sarcasm there, sir, and I appreciate it. Nicholas B., thank you. Again, because some people don't know what's real and what's not anymore. Some people are so confused about what they see and hear. But I am not anti-Christian, okay? I'm not anti-Christian. And I know you know that. I know you're joking with the comment, but there's some people that are listening going, Lou just hates Christians. I knew it. I knew there was something about him. He hates Christians. No, I don't hate Christians. I hate hypocrisy in whatever form it finds itself in. Doesn't matter. Thank you for the PayPal, Nicholas B. Michael Reiser, same amount. See? Let's see. Is this another joke? No. He's prefacing this to let me know this is an actual question, he says, so I don't think it's a joke. This is an actual question. Do you think the postponement of the Oklahoma State game will benefit West Virginia now, since they have a game next week, then have us the following week? Will it benefit West Virginia since they have a game next week and they have us the following? Does West Virginia not have a game? Is that the deal? So what? Do they get 2 weeks to prepare? Is that what it is? An extra week to prepare is always important, especially when you have a good or a great coach. If you just go back and look, good/great coaches don't lose very often following a bye week. And that's true in the NFL. That's true in college football. That was one of my big issues with Mark Richt. Look at his record after. Now, of course, we tend to play Florida after our bye week, and that's a pretty good team. And Florida also has a bye week, usually before that game. But still, just in general, a bye week benefits the better coach, in my opinion. So it's always a benefit to have an extra week. Early in the season, is it as much of a benefit as it is in the middle of the season? No. Because in the middle of the season, not only do you get an extra week to prepare for whatever team you're playing, you get a week off to heal your own team from whatever injuries or nagging little things that have accumulated over the course of the first 4, 5, 6 games, whatever. So you get a bye week early in the year. You're not going to have that many players banged up early in the year anyway. So, but it's still a benefit, I think. I think Oklahoma State is better than West Virginia. If they were playing tomorrow, forget bye weeks and all that. If they were playing tomorrow, I would pick Oklahoma State. Now, they're not playing tomorrow. I'll get to see them play before they play each other. So maybe my mind will be changed. But I think I'm higher on Oklahoma State heading into the season than I am on West Virginia. Now, this person's PayPal name is 1998. Got to be a Tennessee fan. Says, Lou, I've been through some pretty bad crap over the past year, and your show has always been a constant for me and helped me out. Just listening to you in the mornings and at night. I'm a big-time Christian, and yes, I have to filter out some things you say, but I love your channel, Lou, and I'm thankful for you. He's actually a Florida fan. Jacob, Florida fan. Thank you for the kind words, Jacob, and I appreciate you having the ability to filter out the things you don't find funny or maybe even find offensive or disagree with, and appreciate the things that you do enjoy about the channel. If I only watched or listened to things that I agree 100% with, first of all, I would be an idiot. And second of all, I would watch and listen to basically nothing. Part of the problem in this country is that some people surround themselves only with people who think, feel, and act exactly the same way they do. They live in a bubble. Whether it's a Fox News bubble or a CNN bubble, if you want to look at it from a political point of view. There's some people that get all their news from Fox News, that's it. There's some people that get all their news from CNN, that's it. They're in a bubble. They don't ever hear anything from the other side, and they don't want to. There are people, we talked about this morning on the morning show. There are people who will try to convince you that The Godfather is not a good movie anymore because Robert De Niro and Al Pacino don't like President Trump. There are people that are like that. They can't separate what someone thinks about an issue, whatever the issue is. They can't separate that from what that person does, like a movies. You've seen these people that I'm talking, and it's on both sides. It's on both sides. It got, the liberals got Roseanne fired because they didn't like something she said, so they got her fired from her TV show. So it happens on both sides. But you got people who won't watch a Robert De Niro movie anymore and will try to convince you that now the movie is no good because De Niro said something mean about somebody, President Trump or whatever. It's just insane. I don't understand that. Musical, Chris Stapleton. I'm not a big country music fan. I loved country music in the 90s. I don't like a lot of the new country music that's come out over the last 10 or 15 years. I love Chris Stapleton. He has that old school voice to me. I love Chris Stapleton. He came out I don't know when it was, a week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, and I guess he said something mean about President Trump. And now people are burning his CDs, and I'm never listening to Chris Stapleton again. I just think that's ridiculous. And again, it happens on both sides. It's not something that just one side or the other does. And it's just, I don't get that mindset or philosophy. If I had to stop watching or listening to any person, band, artist, actor, whatever, that said anything that I didn't agree with, there would be no one for me to watch or listen to. I don't get it. I don't get it. Thank you for the kind words. And I don't know what I possibly could have done to help you get through whatever rough patch it is you said you were going through. But, if I was able to help in some small way, then, that makes me happy that I was able to help. I don't know. But whatever, you did way more for yourself than anything I did for you. So I appreciate you tuning in and watching, and for sticking in there. And thank you for supporting the show, sir. All right. Back to the phone calls and that. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Ludo.
Hey, Lou. How's everything going?
Oh, things are going great. Yeah, there's no issues.
Well, that's good to hear. Thank God those Bible verse Christians called in earlier.
Right.
Made me really feel special.
Okay, good.
But anyway, I was going to call in about the ACC as a whole. I do expect the ACC to be much better. I was going to call in like 30 minutes ago when Ballard was talking how bad the ACC was, but I couldn't get on it anyway. Might as well talk about our QB situation. I'm going to be honest, I really knew JT Daniels was going to be a QB the second he came to Georgia. I was just worried about his knee the entire time. But it looks like he's going to be the QB for Georgia this year. And I kind of would want to see Dwan Mathis. I know you said that too. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Sad that Jamie Newman's sitting out, but I understand it. Well, I mean, I thought he had to prove something this year, but it is what it is, whatever. But yeah, I guess back to the ACC. I mean, I think the ACC is going to be much better than what people think this year, especially adding Notre Dame. Everyone hates Ian Book, even though he's really not a bad QB.
No, he's not. No.
He had what? I mean, I was looking at his stats like a couple months ago before I did that Notre Dame video, and I was like, I was surprised he had like 600 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Something Jake Fromm couldn't do, but everyone, of course, said he was Jake Fromm Jr., and then you look at his stats, and yeah.
I'm not here to pump the ACC up. Like, I agree that they're pretty bad in general, but name the conference that has the best quarterbacks, top to bottom.
Got to be ACC.
I agree.
I don't even think it's close.
I agree. Trevor Lawrence,
they got
Sam Howell, Ian Book, De'Aaron King. I think the guy at Syracuse could have a bounce back year. Tommy DeVito, I think his name is. I think he could have a bounce back year.
Mm-hmm.
The SEC in particular, a lot of question marks and new coaches. You know, Alabama, what are they going to do? How much is Bo Nix going to improve? Kellen Mond might be the most. Kellen Mond might be at least the most what you know you're going to get. Like, is he great? No, but he's been there forever. You know what you're going to get out of him. A lot of questions. You know, Kyle Trask, first year heading in as a starter. See how he does. South Carolina, question marks. Missouri, question marks. Arkansas, new head coach. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, new head coaches. So a lot of question marks at the quarterback position in the SEC. And the Big 12, of course, Oklahoma's going to score 50 points a game. I like Oklahoma State's quarterback. And you got Sam Ehlinger at Texas, but name some other quarterbacks out there. You can't. So I think the ACC's got the best quarterbacks top to bottom. That doesn't mean they're going to suddenly, be a great conference. But like you said, I think they're probably going to be a little bit better this year than what they have been the last few years.
Yeah. And I'll get back to Kellen Mond real quick. Everyone liked to blame him. It was his issue that they couldn't score or they were losing to the top 15 teams that they played. And a lot of people just didn't watch Texas A&M. I mean, they had one of the worst offensive lines in the country last year. They had so many injuries and whatnot, and their defensive backcourt was pretty bad. But anyway, yeah, the ACC as a whole, I think will be just a little bit better. Some teams no one's really talking about is Pitt and Virginia Tech. Both those teams will have pretty good defenses. The offenses will be the difference. Obviously, Miami with King, they should have still a really good defense. And then their offense, we'll see with that SMU offensive coordinator, what he brings to the table. And then, yeah, Louisville, they have a pretty solid trio at QB, running back, and wide receiver. I don't know how their defense will be. But, yeah, I mean, the ACC should be much better. Oh, yeah, and then you have Duke, another team no one talks about.
Chase Bryce.
Chase Bryce, yeah. Yep.
That's
Transfer from Clemson.
Yeah, and he's got some experience.
And then that coach. Yeah, I like that coach. What's his name?
Cutcliffe?
Cundiff or something like that?
Cutcliffe?
Yeah, Cutcliffe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duke, I think they return only like 5 or 6 players on defense, something like that. I think their defense could be much better than people think as well. But yeah, I still think Clemson's gonna roll in that conference. Maybe they lose to Notre Dame. I don't know. I think it's gonna be hard for Notre Dame because of what they lost, especially at wide receiver. But I don't know.
If you had to pick the second best team in the ACC right now, do you think it's clearly Notre Dame, or do you think it could possibly be someone else?
Man, it's kind of hard. I definitely go with Notre Dame as of right now. I got to see how Miami, in my opinion, is the biggest question mark because of QB play.
Yeah.
I really wish what's his name, Rocio, something like that.
Gregory Rousseau.
End,
Gregory Rousseau.
Yeah, he had like 16 sacks last year.
Their
ridiculous
best player.
Numbers. I really wish he was playing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that going on in college football too. So it sucks for Miami, but there's a lot of that going on. I mean, we just lost. It looked like we were going to avoid it, and now Jamie Newman's gone. A lot of teams are having to deal with this. So, I mean, LSU just absolutely decimated. They had three starters opt out, plus all the starters they had already lost from last year. So they just, it's just been brutal for LSU. So, and then Georgia, only one player, but probably the most important player on Georgia's team this year, the presumed starting quarterback. So, going to be a weird year as far as that goes.
Yeah. I'm like you. I really wish we could have seen Jamie Newman. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
And you know how the media is. They'll tell you the 5 second. I can't stand it. They'll tell you, oh, he's doing terrible in fall camp, and then the next second, oh, he had a really good fall camp. I can't stand it.
Right.
The media is ridiculous, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Happy start of the football season to you. Hopefully we make it all the way through, and we'll talk to you again. We'll talk to you again soon, I'm sure. Back to the phone lines. Let's see who's up here. Yeah, good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lou, though.
Good morning and all that, and to Uncle Lou, J-Dub calling from up in the Midwest.
J-Dub, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I'd like to hand you some stats. How about 3,900 yards and 27 touchdowns against 9 interceptions and 250 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground? That's the Big 12 quarterback you didn't mention a few minutes ago, and that's Brock Purdy, the kid from Iowa State.
Yeah, he's another one. Yeah,
you had him nailed. Yeah, you did. I don't know what inspired you to do so. The Patreon page, I guess, but ISU was your first preview way back when we thought we were going to have a regular season, and you really praised Purdy, and I appreciated that.
He's good. He's really good. And you're right. I shouldn't have left him off that list when I was mentioning Ellinger and Spencer Rattler and that he could be the second best quarterback in the Big 12 this year, honestly, depending on what happens with Spencer Rattler and is Ellinger. Are we going to see 2018 Ellinger or 2019 Ellinger? Which one are we going to see? What happens with Oklahoma State? There's been some distractions there, and then what happens with COVID? But Brock Purdy is legit, no doubt about it.
And he has Charlie Kohler and Chase Allen, two tight ends who are just outstanding. They're going to both probably play on Sunday, so he's got some targets. But Ellinger, I'm not a Texas fan at all by any stretch of the imagination. And ISU rallied to kick the last-second field goal to beat Texas and Ames last year. But Ellinger, let me tell you what, that kid throws the ball on a BB. I don't know what his quarterback rating is or what the breakdown guys say about him, but I know just standing there watching him live, the ball comes out quick and it comes out hard. He's impressive watching him live.
Yeah. He's the real deal. People don't watch a lot of Iowa State, and there's sort of a running joke on this channel about not being able to win on the road there and that kind of thing. But Iowa State is a good team. And how surprised are you? Or you live in? I don't know if I've ever asked you this. What do people around there? Do people around there think that Matt Campbell is going to be the coach of Iowa State in 2022? Do they think they can hold on to him?
everybody is very realistic about it. Now, he just signed an extension for a couple more years, but nobody here, even the real diehard Cyclone fans, don't believe that's going to stick, because somebody's going to come along and throw him money that ISU can't match, or that why would you stay here if somebody comes calling that's a bigger name program? I mean, they're all just like, let's ride this train while we got it, because it's not going to be in the station very long. Somebody big is going to come and get him and take him away.
Yeah, and
so
unfortunately,
they're
to me, contracts mean nothing. As far as
right,
is the coach
nobody
going to stay there or
really
not, it means nothing.
Right. It's not like a situation where you have Iowa, where Hayden Fry and Kirk Ferentz are the only two coaches they've had since like 1978. I mean, everybody here realizes that it's only a matter of time before somebody comes and gets Campbell. He'll be gone, but they're going to enjoy it while he's here. Hey, Lou, congratulations on fighting off the religious barbarians.
That was
I'll
weird.
get out of the way and let you take some more calls.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah,
Thank you for the call.
An unusual turn. Hey, take care, Lou.
All right, buddy. Good to hear from you, Jeff. Let's see who's up next here. Yeah, good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou. Sorry. Yeah, good morning. Bob DeBarner, this is you, buddy. Go.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, not too much. Yeah, I was just gonna get like a shout out, like to TK and Melissa May. They've always been like good people to me. But
good.
anyhow, I was just throwing that out there. I'm sorry. Maybe there was something I hit like a wrong button when I tried to call earlier. Hell, I don't know. But anyway, no, I've been watching you since like, I don't know, probably about 6 years ago. I changed my name, but anyway, I know that's not there, but anyway, but I appreciate like everything you do, and that's all I really wanted to say. It's just light and gentle.
Well, I appreciate
really
you calling in. I appreciate you calling in, Bob. And of course, you can move into the garage whenever you're ready, sir. It's good to hear from you, Bob DeBarner, moving into my old space out in the garage, which would be good. He's a wizard with a rake, that Bob DeBarner. It's no joke. Thank you for calling in, and I appreciate you. So all this, we appreciate Uncle Lou for all this. No, I appreciate you, Bob, and all of you that watch and comment and call in and all that stuff. Without, me and BVD say this all the time on the morning show. Without people watching, it would just be, me and BVD would just be talking on the phone with each other. It's all of you that make these YouTube shows what they are. Not just mine, but all of them. Pete's show, BVD's show, Carter's show, Pinecone show, Alonzo, RJ Young, Mark Rogers, on and on and on. Everybody that does this. There's a ton of us. And without anyone watching or participating in the comment section or calling in to the ones of us that do call-in shows and all that, it would be nothing. It would be nothing to watch. So I appreciate all y'all that do that. So I'd throw that out there. I'd throw that out there for you. Anyway, let me get caught up here. Where are we at? Oh yeah. J Rizzle Drizzle. I emailed you about the LSU bet. Never heard back. I did get that email, and I appreciate it. So, for those of you that don't know, me and Jay Rizzle had made a bet that LSU would finish in the top 5. He's an LSU fan. He thought they were going to finish in the top 5. I didn't think they would. And then a few weeks after we made the bet, all these players from LSU opted out, and I gave him an opportunity to back out of the bet if he wanted to, because that was just brutal what happened to LSU. It started with Jamar Chase, but it didn't stop there. They lost a couple others. And he went ahead and said, yeah, we'll cancel the bet. But he's still paid. He didn't want his money back. We had sent BVD the money to hold. BVD was going to hold the money until the bet settled at the end of the year, and then BVD was going to pay out the winner. And so You're good people, Jay Rizzle. Thank you for that very generous super chat, sir. I appreciate that. And I look forward to making you a coffee in the Uncle Lou studio bar, sir. Gator Zone, thank you, sir. He says, top 3 Chris Stapleton songs. Well, my favorite one is Easy, Parachute. That's my favorite Chris Stapleton song. I love that. I could listen to that song 100 times in a row. I love that song. I know Tennessee Whiskey is maybe an obvious choice. That's probably his most popular song or most mainstream song. And I do like Tennessee Whiskey, but I don't know if I would consider that to be one of my top 3. I like Traveler, Fire Away. God, there's so many. I'm just going to go with those 3. Those are the first 3 that popped into my head, so those are the 3 I'm going to go with. And I'll give an honorary mention to Tennessee Whiskey because I know that's his most popular song or whatever, but he just has that. I mean, he just has that voice, you know. And Chris Stapleton is a good story. He was a writer for some of the biggest country music stars on the planet for 20 years. And, you know, finally somebody said, you know, you should sing some of these songs yourself. And he didn't want to do it. But, man, once he did, he took off. But he's been in the country music scene for a long time as a writer. Very well respected for his writing ability. His voice just gets me. He's just, maybe I'll play a Chris Stapleton song to end the show. He's just, if you don't know who it is, even if you don't, like I said, I don't like country music either the last 10, 15 years. When I listen to country music now, I go back to the 90s. You know, Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn, old Tim McGraw stuff. You know, Clay Travis, Travis Tritt. Nothing against the new guys. You know, I'm old. You know, that's what old people do. Oh, the music ain't no good. I'm that old guy now. You know, but man, Chris Stapleton, he's the real deal. Nick Blankenship, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, Lou, what is more conservative, Kirby's play calling or Herschel Walker's appearance at the Conservative Christian Convention? In parentheses, the RNC. That's close. That's very close. Overall, I'm going to go with Kirby, but recently, Herschel. Herschel's done fell into a political hole. Can't climb out. Now imagine me listening to what Herschel Walker says politically now, and then going, Herschel Walker wasn't no good. He was overrated. I'm not watching any more Herschel Walker highlight tapes or old Herschel footage. He said something politically I don't agree with. That means he's not any good. He's dead to me. That's how there's people that are that way. There's people that don't like Herschel anymore now because he likes Trump. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Why can't you disagree with Herschel's political opinion, but still enjoy him as the greatest football player of all time? They're two totally unrelated things. I don't understand. And this, people weren't always like this. This has all come about fairly recently. This idea that if someone says something I don't agree with politically or medically or scientifically, then I can no longer watch or listen to that person do anything else. It's the weirdest thing. Weirdest thing. I don't get it. I can't relate. I don't know. I can't. Maybe it's just me. It probably is just me. There's a lot wrong with me. There's a lot wrong with me. Tyler P., thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, am I allowed to hate everyone because they like Trump or Biden? Hashtag mad BYU fan. I can't stand. I don't like either one of them. I don't like Trump or Biden. I didn't like Trump or Hillary in 2016. So I didn't vote for either one of them. And that's the other thing. Why do people care who I voted for? What does that matter? Whoever I voted for, I'm still going to clown Florida when we play them. You know? I'm still making your season is over video on Sunday, regardless of who wins the presidential election. What does one have to do with the other? I don't know. I don't get it. I wrote a candidate in. I've said on here who I have voted for in every presidential election since I turned 18. I've said it on here before. I don't start this show intending to talk politics or religion or whatever else, but someone brings it up and wants to argue. Do I strike you as the type of person that likes to walk away from an argument? No. So if you want to argue, just ask the questions. I'll answer almost any question you ask me. But this is a football show. So, and it's football season. You had 8 months to call up and cry because Uncle Lou hurt your feelings about some football trash talk where he made religious jokes. You had 8 months to call up and cry about that. You didn't do it. You wait till football season starts, and then you pick the halftime BYU game video. That video destroyed your feelings. A joke about the Crusades. That was the bridge too far for you? Jeez. Kanye 2020. Is he still running? I had heard he actually made it onto the ballot in some states. Kanye. He's weird, isn't he? He's all over the place, that Kanye West. He's a strange dude. Real strange. Sleeta 2020. Tyler P., thank you, sir. He says, ironic that they still are subbed and watching right now. Yeah. That first guy that called in, it was probably the first time he called in. It had to be about a year ago. It was way more than 6 months ago. And it was the same thing. And he does the same thing every time he calls in. He calls in, says it's his first time calling, makes up a fake name, a fake story about how he found the channel. Then he loses his mind about some trash talk video I made where I made a religious joke and says he's never watching again. Then he calls in tonight crying about the video I made yesterday. Oh, my God. I wonder who Velcros his shoes in the morning. He must have a guardian. I kind of like Nikki Haley. I didn't like Sarah Palin, but I kind of like Nikki Haley. She's a conservative, but she's not completely one-sided. I mean, she's the one that took the rebel flag down from the South Carolina State House. That's not necessarily something you would associate with a conservative doing, but she did it. So, she's not completely. I probably disagree with some of her policies, but I disagree with some of everybody's policy. There is no politician I agree with 100%. That's the point. I don't know if there's any other human being on earth that you agree with 100% of the things they say, then you're just a fan of that person at that point. You're not really a principled individual. You're just a fan of that person. Gator Zone says Lou Jr. versus Uncle Lou in an NCAA 14 stream. He's not much of a football video gamer. He does the shooting games. Now, he would humiliate me in that. Sad FSU fan says Lou strikes me as a Bush con. I did vote for George W. Bush both times. 2000 and 2004. My 2004 vote, and I've said this before too, my 2004 vote for George Bush is the only vote I've ever cast for president that I regret. The last 4 years of his presidency were a disaster. Some of the worst 4 years this country's ever seen, at least in my lifetime. And honestly, I didn't, I regret voting for Bush in 2004. I didn't like what he did in his first term either, mostly. I don't want to get into that. But I wasn't old enough to vote when his dad was running in 88 and then 92. I wasn't old enough. But the first presidential election I voted in was in 1996. Yeah, 9/11 on Friday. I'm going to end the phone calls. It's been nobody on hold for a while, nobody waiting for a while, so I'm going to hang up. It cost me money to leave that thing running. When are we going to fan versus fan again? Well, let's get some Power 5 games going. So next week, we'll fan versus fan next week. Who do you think wins the Natty this year? I don't usually make national title predictions in the preseason. I don't think it'll be a surprise. I'll say that. I don't think someone's going to win it that, isn't in everyone's top 6 or 7 already. So it's going to be either Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Oklahoma. Hell, it's probably going to be one of them. Hey, thanks, Richard. I appreciate it. Gator Zone said Bama versus Bama, fan versus fan. Didn't we have that one time? I'm pretty sure we had 2 fans of the same team arguing with each other on fan versus fan one time. I think that was the point when I finally realized, okay, we need to wait till the season starts to do this. This is just getting out of hand now. I hear you, Pete. I don't blame you. Nobody really talked much about the other games this weekend, other than the Miami game on Thursday. But what do you guys think about Georgia Tech and Florida State on Saturday? I think that's an interesting game. Well, at least one person's on the Georgia Tech train. Who was FSU? FSU by a field goal. FSU by 14. Tech will lose. FSU 17, Georgia Tech 0. Florida State 23, Georgia Tech 20. A lot of people think it's going to be a close game then. I think that's an interesting game. How much better is Florida State going to be basically by just changing their head coach and their coaching staff? Because they need a couple of recruiting classes, player-wise, like before they're competing with a Clemson again. But can Florida State get back to the point? How quick can Florida State get back to the point where they're beating the bad teams? At least, we'll find out. How improved will Georgia Tech be year 2 under Jeff Collins? I think they'll be better. Again, though, sort of like Florida State, Jeff Collins needs probably 3, maybe 4 recruiting classes. He's got to turn that roster completely over. Get rid of all the triple option players that were left over from Paul Johnson. Oh, that wasn't the real Lance from Jasper. Someone made that a troll account. How about Mississippi State and Mike Leach? An interesting team for sure. I actually think Ole Miss, and I'm in the minority. Mississippi State's ranked higher if you look at some of the predictions and things. I think Ole Miss this year could be better than Mississippi State. I think Ole Miss has got some talent Lane Kiffin can work with, particularly at the quarterback position. I also like Ole Miss's defensive front. We got some good wide receivers. Mississippi State's got some talent too. Kylan Hill at running back. Mississippi State, they've got some potential too. But I actually like Ole Miss a little bit better this year than Mississippi State. Is Tom Herman out at Texas if they have a subpar season? I'm of the opinion, generally speaking, that coaches are getting a pass this year. Now, I know we already had one fired at Southern Miss, and there's some questions about Will Muschamp, but generally speaking, I think you're going to have a lot of teams at the end of this year that if you just look at their record and what their head coach has done the last few years or whatever, you could say I could make a case to fire that coach. I think you're going to have a lot of coaches in that situation who don't get fired because there's just a lot of built-in excuses this year. In other words, let's say, how many games is Texas playing? 11? Let's say Texas goes 7-4. But in a couple of those losses, they've got multiple starters out. Do you fire? How do you fire Tom? How do you fire? And, you could substitute any other team for Texas, whatever team you're talking about, So I think you're going to have some coaches that get sort of a free pass this year that maybe otherwise wouldn't. Make LouTube troll again. Says, I hope we get some good upsets so that your season is over video will be good. That would be great. That would be great. Man, if Miami loses on Thursday, it's going to be hard for me to wait all the way till Sunday to clown them. So I'm just saying, if Miami loses, I'll probably make a video laughing about that and then still include them in the your season is over thing on Sunday. But I don't think I could wait to do it. I don't know that we'll see any upsets in the Big 12. The Big 12 is playing non-con games, and they're playing some pretty bad teams across the board. Now, the ACC is conference games, so you could see some things in the ACC this weekend. Gator Zone says Kentucky 35, Auburn 24. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but I actually don't think you're. I don't know if you're trolling or not, I think Auburn should be more worried than they are about that Kentucky game. I do think Auburn is better than Kentucky, but Kentucky is better than most people think they are, in my opinion. And Kentucky, I think if things go right and Auburn slips up a little, I think Kentucky's capable of pulling the upset there. I don't know that I would predict it right now, but Kentucky is a better team than people give them credit for. I mean, you got to remember, we're talking about the same Auburn team that lost to Tennessee when Tennessee had lost like 12 straight SEC games or whatever it was. So there's some recent history of Auburn crapping the bed against not so good teams. Auburn's defense is not going to be as good as it was last year, in my opinion. They lost their entire defensive front to the NFL. They've got offensive line issues too, and they've got no running back. Their leading rusher from last year, the presumed starting running back for this year, quit back in February. So they got new running backs. What's Bo Nix going to look like year two? That's sort of a question mark. I think he'll improve some from last year, but the offensive line and the defensive line are going to be worse, in my opinion, than they were last year. Big step backs there, I think. DB is another question mark. Yeah. So I don't think Auburn's defense is going to be what it was last year. I think they're going to have to count on having a better offense this year than last year to make up for the fact that their defense isn't going to be quite as good. Savage says Coastal will beat Kansas 13-4. I disagree with you there. Me and Pete talked about that game a lot on the Lunch Money show this afternoon that we did at noon. Any of you had a chance to check out that Lunch Money show with me and Pete at noon? I think some of you will like it. It's totally football focused, and we talked just about specific games, against the spread, picking specific games, betting them against the spread, over-unders, things like that. So it's very football specific, that show. I think a lot of you would like it. And we talked a lot about that Kansas-Coastal Carolina game. Me and Pete both like Kansas in that game. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks, Neo. Gators Zone, thank you, sir. Alabama 27, Auburn 10. Tough to predict a score on that game this far out, I think. So that game's a long way away. I'm just hoping I'm hoping we're still playing football when we get to that point in the season. That would make me happy. That would make me extremely happy. Tennessee versus South Carolina, one of the most interesting games of week one in the SEC for sure. Will Muschamp, say what you want about him. He's had Tennessee's number. I think he's 7-1 against Tennessee, Will Muschamp, going back to his time at Florida. Last year was Will Muschamp's first loss to Tennessee in his career. And he's had some bad teams at Florida and South Carolina. Will Muschamp has had Tennessee's number. That's a must-win game for both those teams if they want to get to a 500 record, in my opinion. Whoever loses that game, I don't think gets to 500 this year. I read that Crimson and White. I think De'Aaron King's going to have a big year. I'm not saying he's going to light up the top two, Will he light up a Clemson or even a North Carolina or Virginia Tech or whatever top 2 or 3 defenses in the ACC? Would he light them up? No. But the rest of the ACC is pretty soft defensively for the most part. I think De'Aaron King could put up some ridiculous numbers overall this year, starting Thursday night against UAB. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Wait, it's after 12 o'clock. Luckily, I don't have any live shows tomorrow. I get tomorrow off from the live shows. That's good. Got a video coming tomorrow. That's a preview video. I'm going to preview the Miami UAB game. A couple others from this coming up weekend, too. I have to. I'm going to, too. That'll be on the main channel. Most of you, probably all of you, are subscribed to the main channel, the Uncle Lou channel. If you're not, make sure that you are. There's a link in the description of this video that'll take you to the main Uncle Lou channel. Make sure you subscribe. That's where I upload all my videos. This is just for live shows, this channel here. And now that football season is cranked up, there'll be a lot more videos uploaded on that main channel than there has been the last couple of months. It's just been a weird off season with coronavirus. I'm so ready for all this crap to be over and get back to some kind of normal. Everything is just upside down. My kids' school is, they go to school one day, they don't go the next, and then you have to throw Labor Day in. My kids were basically out of school for 7 days straight. I'm like, what's going on here? This is weird. Like, they didn't have school last Thursday because they're on alternating days, and then the school was closed Friday, and it was closed Monday, and then Tuesday wasn't their day to go, so they didn't go today, so they don't go till tomorrow. So it's just been, everything is just so messed up. I'm just ready for everything to get back to normal. But anyway, big shout out to everybody for tuning in tonight and sticking around even after those two ne'er-do-wells called in crying about Uncle Lou destroying their feelings. Appreciate y'all sticking around for that. We had almost 200 people in here one time earlier, 150 still in here now. Big shout out to those of you who stuck around to the end, too. Matt Dummett, Neo, Rob Dog, Friday Night Lights, Crimson Brave, Make LouTube Troll Again, Kentucky Fan 15, Adam Woodward, Gator Zone, Melissa May, Joey Black, Michael Hogg, Michael Venter. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Bob DeBarner, Rob Dog, Neo, Joey Black, Will Thorogood, a sad FSU fan, Ballard, thank you for the call, sir. Mo Football, Glitter Gator, Albert Sancho, TR Sports, Pigskin, Pete. That's right, I'll see you Thursday, Pete. For what the hell is it? Get aggravated or irritated or both, even maybe. What the hell is going on here? Can't find a damn. Well, now I'm mad about it. Forget it. Fuck it. Do it live. Tell him, Bill O'Reilly. Anyway, appreciate y'all tuning in. Big shout out to everybody who supported the show tonight through the Super Chat or the PayPal feature. The direct donations to the channel are what keep these live shows going. I'll just be honest with you. I choose to play music to start and end the show because I just think it adds something to the show. But because of that, that means I can't monetize these videos. I don't do this as a hobby. This is how I support myself and my family. So I really appreciate those of you that choose to directly donate to the channel on these live shows. So 1998, thank you. Mike Reiser, Nicholas B., RB Smata, Timothy C., Michael Reiser again, Bears, Cubs, Canes, Rattlehead Duncan. Appreciate you guys hitting the PayPal link tonight. And all of you guys who chose to support me tonight through the Super Chat feature. Big shout out to you guys too. Celine Driver, Definition 409, Rattlehead, Brian Biak, Definition 409 again, Brian Biak again, Gators Owned, Lil Leg Lou, thank you for your joke. TC the Weatherman, Gators Owned, Richard Smith, Definition 409, J Rizzle Drizzle. Top donation of the night tonight, sir. Thank you for that $50 donation. That really means a lot. That really helps a lot, sir. Thank you. Gators Owned, Nick Blankenship, Tyler P., Gators Owned, and Gators Owned. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. All that talk about Chris Stapleton got me wanting to play a Chris Stapleton song to end the show. So why not play the one that I said was my favorite when I was asked earlier? Yeah, let's do that. Chris Stapleton, Parachute. Even if you're not a country music fan, give this a fair shot. You know, just listen. If nothing else, just listen to his voice. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.
Street lights along the highway, throwing shadows in the dark. And memories keep on turning to the rhythm of a broken There's a song